Hey everyone, today we're going to do something a little more fun. We're going to make a tier list for units on auto. How good is their AI? So I actually got the idea from a comment from Patrice780. So we're going to put units into, do they have pro AI, semi-pro AI, or novice AI? Pro AI is going to be like the really smart units that usually do the best type of things. Sometimes they even make better plays than we do. They use their skills correctly. An example would be Nidia, for example. She will use both of her channeling, instant channeling support skills first, and then she will unleash her signature death sentence skill and then attack the enemies. And then semi-pro AI is nice, solid AI, but they can make questionable decisions sometimes. Maybe like Kavare, sometimes he will actually move away from a group of enemies instead of moving closer to a group of enemies in order to execute his big AoE skill, and that can be quite annoying. So he'll get less enemies in his Let It Rain skill. And then Novice AI, I was gonna call this the Ha category, because you know it's when the AI makes crazy decisions, like Tahir, for example. His teammate is dying and he's full HP, and then he gives himself a full heal and you're just like, huh? So that's the Novice AI, all the questionable decisions and things that can be super annoying in the right side there. So this is going to be very challenging for me to do. I'll just try my best, put them in groups roughly. A lot of the units I haven't even used on auto, so I'll just do my best and then I'll wait for your guys' feedback if you have more experience on these units on auto, and then we can just keep adjusting this list at a later date as well. Your auto team, I think, is the most important team, just because you use your auto team like 90% of the time. That's what you use day to day, just clear content, get the rewards and move on. So I think our auto teams are really important, and that's why it's important to have units as well that are good at auto, and that's usually the team you're going to run the most, you know. Okay, again, so I have limited experience on auto with most of these units, but let me just start by putting some placeholders down. When I'm thinking of pro AI, the first thing I'm thinking of is units with alert skills, and it's not so much that the AI is really intelligent for alert units. It's just that the fact that they have an alert makes it easy for the AI. They can just click one button and then the unit will sort of attack anything that comes within that range, the alert range. So they're covering a wide space, and that makes it easier for the AI to make the best decisions. And there's a similar thing for units that are going to do physical or magical AoE damage as well. It's just, you know, just click one button. Mina is great on auto teams, I think. I would say a similar thing for Layla, maybe. I know she has very wide alert as well, and then she's also going to give lots of damage reduction. It's just to keep your allies alive, and so, yeah, she's good for that as well. Another alert unit that I'm going to place here is going to be Momo. She's a dream on auto. And then for semi-pro, so semi-pro, a unit like Coco, for instance, great on auto because she's just going to be doing nice AoE healing for your team, single target healing and things like that. But she can make some questionable decisions sometimes. Instead of throwing a mushroom on the enemy, putting them to sleep, she'll give herself damage reduction with her Snow Lotus, and she doesn't even need damage reduction in that situation. It's kind of frustrating things she can do at times. Otherwise, she's solid, even as a support unit. Now, and Rawia SP as well. I don't think she's bad on auto. I think she makes good decisions, but she's not perfect because she can run off too far ahead in the enemy's lines, get herself killed. And if you're putting her on your auto team, that's very frustrating because she's going to make you fail a lot of missions, especially if you're running a dash on her. I think another unit with solid AI, not quite the best, maybe would be Safia SP. If you're running a passive that's going to do that healing to your allies, I think it's global healing, then that's just a solid unit for auto. But for instance, some of her skills can be a little tough and for the auto, and some of them pull off some frustrating moves. Like it's not easy for her auto to be doing her trump tactic on auto to the correct unit you want them to do. I mean, she could be executing trump tactic on a unit that's just about to die anyway and have sort of gang up on a unit that's about to die. Not efficient, but yeah, it is a bit tricky with those kind of moves. What do you guys think? Also, she also has an alert skill. I've never actually ran that on her. Does that make her AI a little bit better maybe? Although it is just an alert area within like a straight line. Another solid auto unit would maybe be old Rawia, especially if you're gonna run that semi-mortal regen build on her. I found she's very good on auto. She's gonna last until the end of the fight because It's tough for the enemies to beat an enemy that keeps regenerating themselves back to full HP. In terms of the novice AI units, I'm gonna place Tairia, and this doesn't mean that Tairia is not good. Tairia is fantastic, one of my favorite support units. It's just that you need to play him on manual in order to get the best out of him. It may be harsh putting him in novice AI. I don't know, what do you guys think about this one? But I think the reason I'm dropping him here is so when he has, even at 5 stars, he has his historical skills. He can stack those stacks up to I think 6 times, and he can cast that historical skill. Got the name, you know, the one with the golden book, like heal a single target and give them damage up. So you can have allies around you that are low on HP and he'll be on full HP and he'll still use that skill on himself like 3 times in a row. It's the most frustrating thing to see, but he does that with his historical skill. I think he does good with his other skills on AI. It's just when you see that, it's quite triggering. And then speaking of support, so supports usually struggle on auto a lot. It's just the nature of the game, because for support units, the AI is not really trained to heal the units with the lowest HP or to walk towards units and start to heal those units. They'll just heal whoever is closest to them. Even with their AoE heals, they're not doing that accurately, often getting everybody. Maybe they'll just get units on the fringe of an area, for instance. It's just difficult to program an AI for each instance of healing and of support. Which units get which support? Are you going to give the damage up to your DPS units, etc. So it's just a bunch of random support skills that they're casting out at random at whoever. So it's just, in general, it's difficult for support units to be good at AI, unless of course they have like passive skills like Sophia that's just gonna give everybody healing. If it's a unit especially like Credenza over here, and these are 2 of the best supports in the game. She requires so much manual finesse, so much understanding of how she works, so much about positioning, so much about, you know, keeping her health at a certain threshold. You don't want it to be in a healthy state. All these things require human input, and so it just makes it hard for her to be anywhere near these categories. So I'll just leave her there. I think we can think of these guys as a work in progress, that they need more work on their AI, not that they're bad per se. Yeah, so I'm just gonna go on these randomly. So Magnus, I'm gonna put him there. I think he's solid. He's got auras. Auras are always easy for the AI, and he's just gonna do his, you know, single target attacks. Not too much going on there for him there. Lutfi, depending on how you build him, the build you're running, I think Lutfi can actually be really, really good. If you're gonna run the decoy as well, just the full invisible build, maybe Lutfi is gonna be in pro AI. I just recently started playing with Lutfi, so you guys who know him better, you may know that. I mean, he's just, you know, everyone around him, he's gonna be taking that TOT, and he's invisible, so that's perfect on AI. The enemy doesn't even know where he is. Dantalian, these kinds of units, I think. Just gonna leave him there. If you guys think he should be anywhere else, let us know. Cole as well. Although we've all been triggered by Cole going into that mask at the wrong time, so yeah, consider yourself lucky getting in there, Cole. I'm gonna give the other assassin, I'm gonna give Estra the pro AI status here. I love the way her AI plays, because she immediately goes and, I don't know if she does it on purpose, she targets, you know, sometimes she targets the weakest units, and then the fact that she can kill like 2 units on one turn, and then the fact that she's running away from the enemy, going into safety, and always turning her back on the enemy so that she can trigger her reaction where she'll do a counter attack kind of a thing because they attack her from the back. I think it's very, very smart AI going on with Estra. Also, she runs on top of high ground a lot of the times, so a lot of units can't even get to her because she's able to jump. Yesarind is just one of the best. Even though she doesn't have alert, she's really good there because she does similar thing to Estra. She keeps herself in safety. They sort of hit and run units, and the fact that she's laying down daggers like across the map makes it that it's easier for AI to just manipulate the enemy. Like she's just laying a minefield for the enemy, so no matter where the enemy steps, there's a chance that she's doing damage anyway. She's doing global damage through her allies and all sorts of things. Very, very satisfying on AI. You can just leave her on AI and she'll like clear most of the missions by herself for you. Hard missions. Facal, don't know too much about him. I know he has an alert. He might go there. I think as we figure out more about Facal, SP, yeah, he's got a nice teleport thing going for him. He's got a decent alert, ranged alert, and he's a defender, so he's quite defensive. I think he'll be okay. Don't know if he's pro AI, we'll see. I was tempted to put him in pro AI, Alexei, because he has like that resolve, but a lot of other units also have resolve now. But yeah, I think he's shorter range for his attacks, make him struggle a little bit on auto, and the timing of his resolve can kind of not be good on auto as well, but we'll leave him here as solid AI, not quite the best. For a support unit, I think Falin actually holds her weight quite well. Unlike these two, she just spams, if you're running the recovery magic, she's just gonna spam AoE healing anyway, and then those things just equip her allies with a regen that they can use anyway, even if they move away from her. And as well, those shields that she's giving, she's got quite smart AI in what she does, I think. I mean, it's easier for her skills. It's just basic, straightforward healer that just does AoE healing as well. Also, she has auras, which are easier for the AI to execute as well. Let me just enlarge these a little bit. My CSP can be quite frustrating on auto. Not the greatest range that she has. But with her support skills, that can be, you know, executed fine on auto. And then yeah, she's really not great because she does coordination attacks, so you need to coordinate those attacks manually. You need to position your allies correctly, otherwise she's just gonna have people swinging into thin air, which is quite frustrating as well. Tempted to put a novice AI, but you can't do that because she does have AoE attacks anyway. A very tough unit for the AI, almost impossible for them to recorrect her AI as well as coordinated allies as well. I think most of the units are going to end up sorted in the middle over here. I think another unit that may have to go here in the under progress AI is going to be Senshi maybe, because his whole mechanic revolves around his food, so the positioning of that food is important. It's just not going to be easy for the AI to position the food in the correct areas, and you want your allies to be within 2 tiles of all that food himself as well. So I haven't actually tested him much on AI, but you can just imagine it's not going to be easy for him. Also going to do assisting covers for allies, and AI looks quite smart, not just doing assisting cover. I think AI is quite smart in that it will try to stay around your allies as much as possible. Safia, I'm tempted to put her there because we've all been so frustrated with that dodge that she does at the wrong time, which is just dodging for no reason. And no enemies are attacking her and she uses that skill. In the end, you just drop that skill because you can't run on your auto team with that skill. But we'll just leave her there because it's just one skill that we're talking about. For now, I think I will leave August in the pro. Maybe he could go down to semi-pro. Reason I'm going to put him here in the pro for now, we can always move him later, is just that I really love how, especially I've got August at 5 stars, I love how he does the right thing. So what I mean by that, on the first turn, he's going to use his hassle skill, which gives him enough stacks of rage to go into his second action. So he uses that hassle skill first so that he goes into his second action just at the right time without wasting his rage stacks. And that's a huge thing for him because it's going to allow him to have double the mobility on his first turn and be able to do the most damage and be the most tanky that he can be. So that's usually how I play him. The first thing I'll do is I'll put him into use his hassle, and then he goes straight into his rage. He's buffed up, and then I will, you know, execute the next attack. The AI is pretty good at choosing which attack to go for after that as well. I'm a little sad that August has fallen off and he's not going to really pick up, even with his Ascension skill. I don't think his Ascension skill is going to be enough for him. I don't have Agatha, but from what I've seen, she looks like a really good auto unit. She's just dishing out damage, very nice and mobile, but especially because she has that regen mechanic where she regens so much. So regen is another valuable asset for AI. So even if they make mistakes, they always have that forgiveness where they can just regen their HP with that life steal, so she can just stay alive, just similar to what Rowea can do as well, but on another level. You know, a unit that I'm gonna have to relegate to a work in progress AI is gonna be Shams, just because one of his very important skills, his jump skill, where he can jump across the map to a location, deal damage, sort of a repositioning kind of skill as well. can look really embarrassing for him. A lot of the times he'll jump and he'll just jump to the wrong area, swing and a miss. Everyone's just look at him like, what are you doing? The enemy's that way. It's quite tough playing him on AI with that skill, and he does need that skill as well. Obviously it's going to give him so much mobility to move all across the map. Yeah, the AI doesn't really know how to execute that move, so a work in progress there. Mina, I feel like he's a unit that could go into pro AI, but because of pledge, you know, it's so specific, you have to choose who you're going to give the pledge to, and then she can do all those things. I think I'm just going to leave her here for now, and then we'll see. If you guys think she needs to be up in pro AI, then just let me know. Speaking of pro AI, I think Simona is one of the best in AI. She's a very fast unit that can move first a lot of the time, which is great for your auto burst teams, and then she has a very good knockback that she's going to be doing to enemies. She's quite tanky, she's got that mobility, but most importantly she has Winter's Doomsday, which is an AI dream. So she summons those 3 blocks of ice, all of which are targeted by the enemy, and it seems like they prioritize that blocks of ice for some reason. So instead of hitting your units, they'll be hitting 3 blocks of ice for a while, and that's just give your team time to do whatever they want to while the enemy is distracted with that. Spoke earlier about Convallaria. I think he's going to be semi-pro AI. I think he could make it almost to the pro AI, because he's just doing passive damage, marking everybody just by being on the battlefield. Very massive range on the AI. The reason I'm not going to put him there is it's a bit tricky for him. He's a bit frail, so he doesn't want to go deep into the enemy's lines, even if it means getting the most enemies. What I find with him, he moves first often, and what he would do on the first turn is he would sort of mark one enemy close to him, and then he would take a step back, sort of move back to safety, and then execute his AI further away from the enemy, where actually you want him to move forward, mark 2 enemies, and then hit enemies with a juicy AoE in like the center area. He's sort of in 2 minds. He wants to do it, but he doesn't want to do it, and so it's kind of tricky for the AI. Otherwise, I think he's still solid. It's just a tricky mechanic, and he does need to position himself in safety anyway. For all you Flavia players, do you think she should be pro AI? Because from the looks of it, she has some really cool mechanics for AI. I mean, she's summoning those plants, changing the battlefield, so it's gonna give you an advantage in AI. Just having more units on the battlefield and then providing that healing for your team wherever they are. I think that's just a recipe for having good AI. So I'm gonna leave Flavia there for now. If you guys think she should go down, let me know. Fakeal, we're gonna drop you here. Can be very frustrating with his AI, especially on alert. His alert skill, he could just be doing alert in thin air where there's like no enemies and things like that. But maybe there's other builds that will allow him to be sort of decent unit on AI. Nidia for me is the total opposite of that, of a very intelligent ranged archer unit. I was so surprised when I saw she does the exact moves that I would do on my first turn with her, which is to set up both of her instant channelings first before she unleashes her death sentence, marking all the enemies with her feathers, and then just doing a juicy chain AoE attack on the maximum enemies. Also, she's often targeting the biggest group of enemies to get the biggest AoE damage, instead of just targeting like one enemy on his own. She likes to get the chain reaction where enemies are grouped up together. I find it very impressive, the AI for Nidia. Oh boy, a unit that needs to be at novice AI is going to be a combo. Never run this guy in your auto team, and his AI is not going to be the best at knowing where to position those assassins, or when to execute secret signal to get the biggest sort of AoE attack with that. Often his AI will just cast the support skill instead of repositioning the enemies, or not even positioning the enemies in the correct position. He's just casting the support skill for no apparent reason, or he's not casting the support skill on the correct group of allies. So one of the most frustrating units. Gloria is the OG. We want Gloria SP. In terms of auto, she's very good. I even run her now still at times, because I just love that at the beginning of the turn, all enemies that are around her, that are close to her, are going to be getting a bonus in their movement. So I use this a lot for PvP as well, for the clash. So just allowing your units to have an extra movement who are around her, so they can fly out into the battle quicker. And she's just a good unit on auto. She does a global buffing with her flag. It's going to boost everyone no matter where they are. She's got leadership aura, she's got AoE attacks. The flag's also a powerful AoE attack. If you buff her up at rank 13, you can boost her even more. I think she gets big boost in the damage as well there. Any Iggy players out there, can you let us know where this guy should be? I've seen this guy do his ultimate single target attack on enemies mob enemies that just have a sliver of HP left. The most painful thing to see your units unleash their ultimate skills on enemies that are already dead. But yeah, a unit with single target attacks is never really gonna do that well in AI. Nungal SP for now, this is just tentative. We'll put her here in the pro AI just for now, and then we'll see as we figure out more about her auto AI. But usually newer units, they do have better coding on their AI, and Nungal SP, so she's built almost to be good at AI, so she'll jump into the enemy lines with a big AoE attack, but then she has mechanics that pull her out of the enemy's line as well, pull her back into safety. So just for that reason, she'll be fine even if she goes crazy on the enemy. And then similar to Yisarin, she's also creating items on the battlefield, which is gonna benefit your allies, and if the enemies step on those items, those spears, they'll take magic defense down 3. So just like Yisarin, similar to Yisarin, she's laying down minefields, but it's also like supporting your allies. I think she's good in AI. Tristan, I was thinking maybe she should be semi-pro, because she, a lot of these, she is a solid AI, but I'm gonna leave her in novice AI because it's the most frustrating thing when a unit's so powerful that has to unleash Berserk State when they release that at the wrong time, when they release it too late. So she doesn't even get a chance to shine, to unleash her powers and make herself go into that undying state. So the AI doesn't know when to, execute that at the right time. So they'll wait too late, and by then she'll get killed before she even, warmed up for the battle, so to speak. Or maybe sometimes the AI will unleash a Berserk State too early, and then she loses her resolve, and then she gets killed because she's on a sliver of HP. I don't know. This is a unit I think you need to play manually and finesse, and you can do some really cool things with Tristan. She's a powerful unit, but AI is going to be tough. So Shakururu, not Shaq Lulu. Yeah, are there any Shakururu players out there? I didn't even think she was worth all of those resources where you can purchase her unit. She sort of came out at the wrong time where the meta already, overtook her. Yeah, she's in a really awkward position. Even Kia, kind of the meta overtook them by the time they came out. They came out too late. And so yeah, if there's any players out there who knows where she should be on auto, and maybe she's decent, maybe there's not too much going on there. Speaking of which, let's bring Kia over here. Because I'm not sure about Kia, I'm just gonna leave her over here. And then if any of you know where she should be, single target attacker, quite specific attacks, specific mechanics as well. I can't imagine that it's easy for a unit like this to function well on auto. Homa, guys, what do you think? I just recently got Homa, but I do like that she can do a lot of healing, AoE healing, and that carnival skill and things. It seems like a lot of skills that's good for auto. Whether or not she's going to give the correct ally that attachment bird that's gonna help increase their movement and do extra damage, I don't know. Does she actually target the correct unit, your DPS unit, or does she just randomly give that attachment bird to a support unit or something? Let me know. But she looks very good on paper. She looks good on AI. Karis doesn't do too much wrong on AI. Maybe her magic shields, she's not using at the right time sometimes, maybe. Maybe her revelation state can be a little bit tricky for the AI. The AI may not know when to execute the correct moves when they go into a revelation state. But I also think it depends on what stars she's going to be on. Anything below 3 stars is going to be tough in terms of revelation. 3 stars, she can get that revelation at the first turn. Do I leave her in the novice AI? I know she has I heard that she has to sort of ramp up her attacks and then execute that very powerful single target attack, at the right time. So that could be tough on AI. I can imagine how frustrating this unit can be if, she ramps up her attack to finally unleash it, and then she'll unleash it on a mob with 10 HP or something. So for now, I'll just put it in there. Beryl, I don't recall being really frustrated with the things that Beryl's doing on auto, because the skills are designed straightforward. She will do usually the correct attacks. Maybe the boom skill she will waste on the wrong place or something, but not too much there. And then Rico, the wannabe Poppy. So yeah, any Rico players, I think, just from the outside, seeing her, I think that she would be... her kit is just designed for auto. I mean, she's a defender. She's gonna be doing counter-attacking, AoE. Those are all things that are really gonna be good on auto. Similar to Pamina, you know, she's gonna be counter-attacking enemies. She has a lot of like defensibility, built to keep her alive, tough unit, and do damage as well. The AoEs are just gonna be very, very good there as well. Tiden, man. So even early game, it was so much frustration with this unit. Just seeing this unit, I mean, I haven't played him on auto, but I've played against him on auto, and to see him use his alert skill, which only has like 1 tile range or something, in the middle of nowhere, where there's no enemies, is quite a sight. And so any Tiden players, is there an alternative build, maybe without that alert, that you could run on auto or something? But yeah, let's just leave him there. Guzman, so I'll just leave him over there simply for the fact that he has that resolve where he can revive again. Otherwise, I don't think he does too well, but yeah, for now we'll just put him there. Eder as well, maybe we'll just leave her over here in the middle there, because she is going to be doing assisting attacks, which isn't too hard for the AI as long as she's close to her allies, and she's got AoE support skills. I don't think she gets that wrong too much. And then she also throws the wine on enemies. It's not too difficult for the AI. A Leonide, I can imagine. Again, I don't know any Leonide players. Some of you do play Leonide. How easy on auto? I know he can be strong in some single target attacks, but from the looks of it, he's moving in straight lines. He's unleashing, again, it's similar to Garcia, unleashing one powerful attack, one all-out attack, and so the AI has to get that attack right. They can't be hitting a mob with who's about to die anyway. I can imagine it can be very frustrating with Leonide and auto. Apologies for the duplicates here. Xavier, I mean, I'll put him here for now. If you think he should be lower, let me know. And then for Inanna, maybe I'll leave her over here. But I do think Princess Prey can be very, very bad. You know, she's gonna give Princess Prey to her god, who's not even close to an enemy. It's such a waste. But you could always just unequip that skill. You don't have to run Princess Prey. If you're running on auto, then she can just do basic AoE healing skills or her passive healing skills. Also that Flight of the Princess, where she's doing increases the range for her healing skills, is gonna be good on auto. So no matter where she is, she's gonna reach allies and heal them. So I'll leave her there in the middle. Nergal, similar to Garcia and those guys, he's gonna do like a big single target attack that may be frustrating for some of you guys, I'm not sure. I'll leave him there just because he's a defender. Tempted to put him there. I mean, yeah, he has so many single target attacks and single target support that's very easy to mix up. If you think he should be higher, let us know. Mice is not too bad, but I think her assisting cover makes it easy for AI. If you're running the assisting cover thing, then she can keep your team alive in AI. And then she also does have the global heal. Not much, you know, early unit in the game, but it's something. Gives you that passive healing. Nungal, wow. As much as we love Nungal, I think she has to go to the work in progress AI. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm not sure if she's able to execute her instant where she can use her ultimate skill instantly. I don't know if she does that on auto, or if you manually have to do that. I remember when I played, I had to actually remove that skill and do a completely different build. I couldn't even use the ultimate skill. But just let me know if I'm wrong, and then we can bump her up. But if otherwise, if she cannot use that ultimate skill on her own, then I'll have to leave her there. Kind of a fix for that, you know. You can help the AI, reprogram the AI to fix that, if that is the case. So I'll leave Pucci over here in the Pro AI for now. Another modern unit, quite smart with AI and built in a way that she should be good on AI, because she will leap in towards the most enemies that she can, depending on the skills you're running on her. And she will use AoE skills that can deal damage over time. She's also built for survivability, so she has something like, I keep forgetting, I think it's 7 dodges that she can do, so that's obviously going to be very good. Also, she's got skills with massive damage reduction, and she's also doing passive DOT damage to enemies around her or enemies that attack her. So it doesn't matter where they are, this unit is just designed to have good AI as well. So we'll leave it there. Parsifal, so from looking at his kit, I think he's solid in terms of AoE physical damage. That's not easy to really mess up. I think it's the units, you know, the Garcias who have single target, you know, big attacks. It's difficult for the AI to execute that. He does have a resolve, but once he goes into his resolve state, he has like 1 or 2 turns to live. Nona we'll just put you there for now. Yeah, she can execute her support skills at the wrong time, but we'll just leave her there. Lily will, again, single target, signature skill that you can use easily on the wrong enemy. Might be frustrating from what I've seen her playing on auto or playing against her as well. Yeah, she can make the wrong plays a lot there. For now, I'll just leave her there. If you think she should go down, just let us know there. For Miguel, I actually have no clue where Miguel should be. I don't want to do him wrong by putting him in novice AI, so we'll just fit him in here for now, and then we'll see as we go. Samantha, OG Samantha. Do I actually put her in pro AI, or do I think a lot of people won't be happy with that maybe, so I'll just leave her over here. The little that I've seen from Samantha in AI, I think she's really good because of her healing, that she can heal allies whenever allies are taking damage, and then she's just healing them if they're nearby her, allowing that survivability on auto. I think she could be another good support unit on auto, just like Farlin. So I actually missed some very important units here. Let me start off with Camelot. So yeah, so I think Camelot is one of the best AI units in the game. Auto is, most of our gameplay that we're going to do is going to be on auto mode. We're just clearing content, and he's going to make our lives so much easier by just clearing content, but also clearing content the fastest. He's going to wipe out waves of enemies on the first turn evens, and he's very intelligent AI. He will run towards the enemies that are grouped up together and execute his combo to do the maximum amount of damage. I don't even think I can do that on manual as efficiently as he does. Very smart, built for AI in the sense that he's constantly generating shields for himself, keeping himself alive, and just like Agatha or Agatha, he's also going to be doing lifesteal, which is a dream on AI as well. So probably my favorite unit in the game, just because he makes your life so much easier. Inanna SP, I want to put Inanna SP in the pro section. Because of the fact that Inanna is going to be giving so many passive buffs to allies very easily. She got smart AI, the way she does the things, the way she does the AoE attacks. The flag could be a bit better, but I'm going to drop it down to semi-pro because she's got a big flaw at rank 5, because she's going to be giving a freedom stance to herself on the first turn, which is a huge mistake. She wants to be giving that to her allies, because if she gives it to an ally, then her ally gets to act again and she gets to act again. So she's wasting an entire move, an entire extra action for her ally, and as well as all those buffs, she's wasting it. I think it's a very big flaw in her AI that seriously needs to be fixed. She just wastes all that powerful resources, and I think it's a simple fix. Just tell the AI at 5 stars, you know, don't use that skill on yourself. Lucamar is going to be really good on AI as well. Very clever, again, a clever unit that is going to be giving a sort of global buffs to other element units as well, giving them more liberation stacks. She is a single target attacker, and like Garcia and those single target attackers, she also has a signature kind of skill for a single target enemy. But the difference with her is that her single target sort of flashy attack can be executed as an AoE skill as well. So even if she hits the wrong enemy by mistake, if she hits an enemy with low health, the enemies around those enemies, that enemy will also be damaged. And yeah, I think she's smart in the way she plays as well. Good decision making. For now, we'll leave her there. If we find something questionable, then we may bring her into semi-pro. Another alert unit that's gonna almost by default go into the pro list is Samantha SP. Very great on auto. So yeah, just that alert is going to protect her and her allies as well. She's got alert, and she's got powerful AoE as well, which wipes out the enemy. Easy for the AI. Just click one button and everything is wiped off on the map. Also, she's got a built-in regen for herself in case she makes an error, or for her allies to regen them as well. 5 stars, she's doing global branding on enemies, so she's damaging enemies no matter where she is. She'll be damaging enemies just by going into standby. Marcel, for those of you who have Marcel, where do you think she should be? She is going to be doing AoE damage, which is going to be good. Although there's a lot in a kit that does require careful execution. So for that reason, I'm gonna leave her here for now. Aphra, I just got recently. I've recently been playing Aphra. I just love her style, man. She's real chill. She's real mellow. A very peaceful unit. And I've been running on auto just a little bit. Still not enough experience to say exactly where she should go. But yeah, I think she's got decent AoE skills that she can do. She does do some damage reduction for herself when she transforms into that deer. So for all the Team Meteor players out there, you guys know her much better than me. Where do you think she should be? In the middle here or over here? She seems like she can be a unit that can be quite frustrating. Moving in straight lines like that. Having to get up those fat stacks and having to transfer. I think she can transfer those fat stacks as defense to allies. Does she do that to the correct ally or does she get that wrong or things like that? I think it's easy for her to struggle on AI. But if you think she should be bumped up, just give a mention there for her. So yeah, this is it, guys. This is what I've managed to come up with. It's just a rough draft and then we're gonna work on this. I'll consider all of your feedback. I'm just happy to get them into sort of a rough category for now. I don't know if there should be other categories as well. Maybe there should be more specific categories as well, but this is a decent start. These units on the left I think are just really a dream to put in your auto team. The units in the middle as well will also fit into your auto team, and then the units on the right is not worth really putting onto your auto team, or they need some big improvements like Shams. Shams will fit well into your auto team as well. It's just he can do some really wasteful moves, but otherwise he can fit in. Same thing with Credenza, you know. And Tahir as well, they're interested as well. It's not that they cannot fit into your auto teams. Some of them need a little AI rework there. Just a few things. But that's gonna be all for this one, guys. If you enjoyed it, please consider subscribing and also hit the bell notification if you want to be notified whenever there's a new video that's being released. Take it easy and I'll see you in the next one.